We're talking leg action, more importantly, pivots. And as you see, different golfers have different types of leg action. So there's not one leg action for everyone. So classic example here, we've got Zach Johnson, Justin Rose, Gary Woodland. So Zach Johnson, we will relate to, as you can see, his left hip is more over his left foot. Justin Rose is left hip sort of inside the left foot, and Gary Woodland left hip is almost inside where his ball is. So as you can see, they all work differently. So which one's for you? Well, everyone does it differently, so there is a way to test and measure this. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to do some comparisons, and I'll show you the differences on different swings. So here we have Zach Johnson's swing. As you can see, I'm going to draw a line on his right hip, on his left hip. See, there's not much movement off the ball. So see where the line is on his right hip, sort of turns, and the weight still looks like it's more pushing down here in the swing. So we call this a front post swing. So what happens as he swings back, you'll get 60%, 65% weight on his right foot, so he transfers a bit of weight. As the arms start to go back now, you'll see pressure will start to go into the left leg earlier. And that's his position there. So for him, we call him a front post golfer. Here we have Justin Rose, and we call him a centre post golfer. So if we draw a line on his right hip and his left hip, doesn't really move off that line on the right hip. And eventually he'll start to push into his left leg, which all top golfers will do. As you can see, doesn't quite move off the line. So now if I go and compare that, now we've got Zach Johnson, and we can compare Zach with Justin. Different positions on the body. So you look at Justin's the left hip close to the line. Zach has actually come off the line and he's pushing into his left leg earlier in the swing. So there's very different ways of swinging the club. Here we have Gary Woodland. So now you can see he has quite a significant shift to the right. There's the big move off to the right. So now, as I keep saying, there's no right or wrong way. Everyone has a different way of generating power. So if we now compare, so for example, Gary Woodland here, he's got 100% of his weight goes onto his right foot, and he moves off the ball. Now he pushes into the left leg and hits it. So now if I compare his pattern with Zach Johnson, now we've got Zach Johnson below. That looks very different to Gary. So which one's which? Well, both work well. They both match their patterns. That's why you test and measure. So if you go to a coach and he's teaching everyone the same way, maybe that pattern will work for you, maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, there's other ways to do it. So it comes down to which one do you fit into for the lower half. Don't look from here up. We're only looking leg action. I will be doing another video on what the upper body does in the swing. But Zach Johnson, we call him front post. Justin Rose, centre pivot or centre post. Gary Woodland, rear post. If you've got any questions on this, send me a message. You can test. There is a test for this. Mike Adams, Terry Rolls have come up with a great way of testing, working out which one you need. As I get, send me a message. I am on Skillest app. If you want online work, you can catch me on Skillest app, or if you're in Melbourne, Keysborough Golf Club.